Dude, I have a good review for you today. That's right. I'm giving you my first run impressions and thoughts about the Speedland SL PDX. If you're like me and you love trail running and you love buying new shoes, when something like this comes out with all of the technology and a quite aggressive marketing campaign for something that could potentially revolutionize your trail running, well, you get curious and you have to scratch that itch. So I did just that. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you briefly about this shoe, some of the technology that's in it. I'm not going to go over all of the specifications because there's a lot. But then I'm going to go into my first couple of runs and impressions about the Speedland, my likes, dislikes, and if this shoe is right for you. Because let's face it, $375 is a lot of money for a pair of trail running shoes. Let's get into it. The SL PDX is constructed from the most premium and luxurious materials available. From a Michelin-wrapped outsole, a dual BOA fit system, a carbon fiber plate, 2 layers of cushioning, and lots of customization, no other trail shoe can compare in features or price. The Michelin outsole ensures the highest quality rubber and the widest selection of compounds. Michelin used fabric in the rubber to make it stronger, allowing the web of the rubber to be just 1.5 millimeters thick and remain extremely strong. Cuttable blocks allow each of the lugs on the outsole to be cut and shortened based on the conditions of the trail or the runner's performance. The carbon plate was developed for the SL PDX's unique needs of the trail athlete. The dynamically flexible carbon fiber plate offers propulsion and snap, while still giving a responsive ride at speed without compromising great trail feel or rock protection. A special locking mechanism secures the carbon plate at the heel. This avoids using glue, leaving the midsole and plate free to flex and torque independently and to enable the plate to be removed. 2 midsoles, a lower lightweight EVA next to the ground, gives protection and feel, while an upper layer of Pebax foam offers more cushion and energy return close to the foot. For my first couple of runs, I wanted to vary the terrain as much as possible. So I hit bike path, bridle trail, crushed limestone, soft dirt, hard compact, and a little bit of a trail run that ended up being more like bushwhacking than trail running. And I have to say, I've been impressed. Starting with the double BOA, the lockdown fit on this overall is just amazing. There's no other shoe in my experience that has been this snug and adjustable to my foot. They absolutely nailed that fit. And with a wider toe box, 2 layers of padding, it is quite soft, very comfortable. I ran with the full lugs. I did not trim them at all. Even on hard bike path, I didn't notice them. They were not cumbersome at all. Maybe that's the dual layer padding. I may have had the carbon fiber plate in. I don't remember, but I had no issues. But also the same for when running, I made sure that I was stepping on rocks and roots. You could feel them. You do have a nice ground feel there, but with protection. And it was nothing that I thought was like, man, this would be painful if I did this for hours on end. The shoe with or without the carbon fiber plate does feel pretty nimble overall, and I think that's because it hugs your foot so well. So first couple impressions, definitely impressed. But let's talk about likes versus dislikes and really dig in here. The dual BOA system. I think more companies need to look at this. The ability to quickly adjust how it fits around the heel or the midfoot on the fly with precision increments, either tighter or looser, to me just really blew my mind. Because the first couple runs, it did take some getting used to dial in, but it was like a 5-second process to change them out on the trail. I could see that being a big benefit later on in an ultra when the feet start to swell. The dual bow is probably, in my opinion, one of the best parts of this shoe for the fit that it gives. The second major like would be the cushioning, and that is with or without the carbon plate. It felt nice and soft underfoot, but responsive and snappy at the same time. And I know that they use 2 different layers of foam there, one closer to the ground and the Speedback's closer to the foot. And it's really soft and comfortable. It is. And with that layering in there and the Michelin rubber, the web that they use, I felt that there was good foot protection overall. Now, that isn't saying that I did not feel anything underfoot. It wasn't marshmallowy. Like, I could tell when I did hit some more substantial rocks or roots that they were there. But at the same time, most of them I glided over easily. The big lugs gave lots of traction. The dislike, and I know I said this was probably my favorite thing about the shoe, but that dual boas. I did run into one issue here. I'm not sure how much you would actually see this, but when I was more on the bushwhacking side for a very overgrown trail, a vine or a root caught the side and it actually popped it. And from there, with going through my gait, the shoe just came very loose and I had to stop and retighten it back down. Not a big issue, but again, it was more annoying. I wonder if they would have just moved those over slightly so anything coming up would not grab on there, if it could have helped prevent that. Just my speculation there. The second dislike, I have no problem with the heel, but inside, the layer of padding that they put in gives me concern. And this is me personally. I just wonder if I would go more than 10 miles, if I got to mile 30 or 40, 50 or 60 in these, if that would start to rub on my Achilles. To me, that would be an ultimate deal breaker if it got there. I might be overthinking it, but on 1 or 2 of the runs, I felt like I could feel that, of giving a little bit of friction. Another dislike about this shoe, I just felt like it didn't drain. I did not cut the drainage lugs on the shoe. I didn't cut those because you can't put them back. And it's not that they retained a lot of water. I just felt that the foam and the carbon plate just stayed moist. It's like a little bit of dew hung onto them, keeping my foot wet, where I haven't noticed that feeling in a Solomon or a Topo or an Ultra. It was just a little bit weird. Maybe it was in my head. Maybe it's not. I'm going to need some testing there. But I will say, if I can get 1,000 likes on this video, I will cut those and do a drainage comparison for everyone to let you know if that changed everything and what a difference that it made. And last, the dislike, the price. $375 is not an easy price to swallow for a pair of trail shoes. It's just not. And I know that's not in the budget for everyone. So to me, that's a big dislike. Even though I know the company wasn't going for the mass consumer, they wanted someone to really invest in their trail running here and have extreme flexibility. But when I think about the flexibility and the options of this shoe, to really set it up, you have to make some changes. And if you're going to have this for more than one type of race, say you need one that's going to be possibly for wetter conditions or harder, whatever it might be, you might need 2 or 3 pairs of them to do that. And I just don't know many runners out there that have an extra $1,000 plus lying around to throw down on the table, even if they do come in this sick collar. Come on. My overall thought, I absolutely love this shoe for what it offers. I'm still experimenting with it. I don't think a half a dozen runs or so does it justice. It likely might see the rotation for my next Ultra, the Cloud Splitter 100K. We'll see, need some more testing there. Absolutely love the fit, the feel, the comfort, and how much I can customize it for what I want. But the question, is it right for you? And you're gonna have to ask yourself, is this kind of investment in your shoes worth it? When at the same time, you could buy a pair of Ultra Lone Peak 5s, you could buy Salomon Ultra Glides, and probably a pair of Hoka Torrent 2s, and be within a couple dollars of what these cost. And those are 3 well-tested shoes that are going to perform great in different conditions and collectively are going to go the distance and probably give you 1,000, maybe 1,500 miles and giving the most bang for the buck. So you're going to have to ask yourself, but for me, I have no regrets. They're going to stay up in the lineup. Let me know in the comments down below if you think that this is a shoe that you could add to your lineup, and I'll give an update when I reach 100 or 200 miles in them. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button, and have a great run.